Alright, so what is up guys? Today we got the new patch coming in Dislyte, the patch 3.1.1, and there's a lot of really nice changes in this. And we got the 3 new Espers that are going to be coming out: Zeus, Vermilion Bird, and Magnus as well. So we're going to be going over that, and then we also got some huge gotcha changes, right? We got a couple buffs and nerfs and a couple other changes here, so we'll definitely get into that. And yeah, let's go. But before we move on, I'd appreciate it if you guys subscribe to the channel. Help people get to 1,000 subscribers. Like the video if you like the video, and share this around. Zeus, he's a 5-star flow attuned Esper, right? So his first ability is Thunderstrike, deals damage to an enemy based on his attack, extends all their debuffs, and stuns the enemy. So this is really good if they already have debuffs on them. He can go ahead and just keep extending them, and on top of that, he also has a stun. So that's really good. And then he also has this form where he turns into a God King, right? Where he transforms, and then his first ability changes to this ability when he's in that form is Thunderstrike. What it does is deals damage to all enemies based on his attack, has a chance of stealing enemy buffs. So he has a chance of stealing buffs instead of extending buffs. I believe that's how it's going to work. So then his second ability, which is Thunder Judgement, summons lightning to attack random enemies multiple times, deals damage based on his attack, prioritizes attacking different targets, and deals decreasing damage to the same targets. So if he attacks other targets, it prioritizes that, but when it hits the same target, it's lower damage. And then dispels all buffs from the targets and inflicts buff blockers. So it's a complete strip from anyone this hits, right? So if you have like 4 buffs, 5 buffs, it's a complete strip. I love this because there is so many buffers in the game right now that I believe this is going to be so useful, and him just being able to just dispel it, and then on top of that inflicts buff blocker. Like, no, you're not going to get a buff here either. So don't think you're safe that you can just buff right after, unless you get cleansed from it, but that's actually insane. When he's in his god state is that he basically just does more damage, right? He does the same thing, just does more damage is what it seems like. And then for guys, his third ability, which is his ultimate called Thunderstorm, switches to God King mode and gains another turn. So he gains a turn instantly once using this, which is nice. Gains a shield based on his attack, so you want to build him with a lot of attack, it seems like, too, and extends his own buffs and resets God King Judgement cooldown. What that is his second ability. It resets it. So if you use the second ability and then you transform into this God King form, his second ability gets reset, so you can go ahead and use that again. Now this ability's cooldown is not affected by any methods, so like anyone that's gonna try to lower this cooldown on this ability, it can't work, right? So it's just gonna go on a natural cooldown, and that's the only way you're gonna get it back. Now when he's in his god state, right, he switches. What it does is when he presses his ultimate, he can switch back to normal mode and gains another turn, grants shield to all allies based on his attack, extends his own buffs, resets Thunder Judgement cooldown, which is his second ability again, and reduces Thunderstorm's cooldown by 1. So that's his ultimate. This is the only way you can really lower his cooldown is through his ultimate. And now the God King buff is actually undispellable, and what that does is King of Gods, it changes all ability effects, increases crit rate, and deal bonus damage upon attacking, so it just makes him stronger. And guys, his normal mode, his passive ability increases accuracy, and Seer is inflicted upon attacking, so he inflicts Seer no matter what. And then his passive in God King mode, he increases crit rate when attacking, deals damage based on target's max HP. The bonus damage has a limit, so that's huge. Seems like he's going to be doing a lot of damage to you no matter what. Then we got Lingguang of Vermilion Bird. Lingguang's first ability, Bright Flames, attacks enemy multiple times based on her attack. Each hit increases her AP by a certain percentage, which is big, right? She gets to push herself forward, and depending on how many times she hits, right, and how much AP she gains from that, that can be pretty huge. And then her second ability, right, attacks one target multiple times, deals damage based on her attack, and deals bonus damage based on her speed. Each hit steals the target's buffs. Upon successfully stealing, extends her own buffs triggered once per turn. Okay, so this is very nice, and again, it's a multiple hit kind of a action kind of a thing going on there, where she gains speed and extends her buffs, right? And it only can be triggered once per turn. So we got Lingguang's third ability, Dazzling Sunfire, increases all ally APs, so she's an AP pusher, attacks one target multiple times, deals bonus damage to the targets based on her speed. So you're going to want to stack a lot of speed on her. It seems like she's going to be very fast. She's going to be an offensive AP manipulator, and this is the first of our kind that we have, really, because most of the time AP manipulators are like control units, right? They mostly fall under that. So this is going to be, for me, I think this is going to be our very first offensive AP manipulating unit, so that's really cool. Then we have Nick Magnus. He is also the 4-star Inferno attuned unit. He has his first ability is Stone Fist, deals damage to one target based on attack, has a chance of inflicting attack down. Okay, pretty simple. And then his second ability, Landslide, attacks one target multiple times, each hit deals damage based on his attack, has a chance of extending the target's ability cooldowns. Wow, that's big. Upon successful extending, reduces his own ability cooldown. So not only is he increasing your abilities to go up in cooldown, right? Even if you haven't used them, he'll force them to go on cooldown. He's also making his stuff go on cooldown. And then his ultimate, Skyfall, attacks all enemies based on his attack, dispels enemy shields, and silences the enemies. Each enemy silenced increases the AP by a certain percentage. Okay, so this guy's a shield eater, and he's gonna rip through your shields, and he's also gonna silence you while he's at it. This guy is crazy because he's also, the people that he does silence, he's going to increase his AP. So he is the controller of the pack, and that is actually crazy, right? So these units really seem really good, and I'm really happy for them. Now for the new event, this is going to be dropping on August 23rd, so next week, and it's going to last until September 5th. And that is guys' new event, the Static Shock event. For this new event, they're going to be coming out with the first 4 chapters, and then the 2 chapters of the stages will be unlocked at a later date, and then you'll be able to play through with the new character as they always do. And then they're going to have that boss at the end that you can go ahead and try to take on when you reach the end of the stages, right? And now for the juicy stuff, we got guys' probability event. So I've read through all of this already, right? And I want to just break this down to you guys. We're going to have our echo summons, right? That we already have now. And then we're going to also have a new summoning portal, which is going to be called Super Senses, right? What they're saying is through the echo summons, right? Before it used to be 120 pulls to get your guaranteed legendary. But now what they're saying is they brought it down to 100 for you to get your legendary Esper. It's still random, but from what I've read, right, is that if you don't get the banner unit on the first pity, right, which is 100, once you reach that 100 mark, you get a guaranteed legendary unit. It could be the new Esper, or it might be someone random. But they're saying if you don't get it on that 100th pull, you'll be guaranteed to get them on the second 100th pull. So in total, you'll be doing 200 gold record pulls if you want to get the banner unit. That's how I read it, right? That's how I took it. Now for the second banner, right, the Super Senses, you need a certain currency to pull on that banner. And the way you get these the currency to pull on the Super Senses banner is it says right here, you can get it through the Union shop, you can get it through the Temporal Tower, you can get it through brownies, and etc. A spin of that requires 50 super sound matrices, which is the currency that you use to pull on the super sequencer, right? Now this 1 week, they're only gonna let us get currency from the Super Senses currency, where they're gonna let us get it from pulling on the regular banner, right? But once that week goes away, we won't be able to get that currency anymore. The only way we'll be getting those currency is through these places right here that I just stated. And on that new banner, the Super Senses banner, it's actually 80 pulls, the pity there. And if you don't pull it there, you can get it on your second 80. And they both roll over, right? So let's say you're pulling on the standard banner and you do 100 there, right? And then you come to the second banner. You don't need to do 2 times to get that pity, to get the guaranteed banner unit. You'll just have to go to pity there, and with that 1 time, because the other time it counted as you pulling as 100, that counted as your first pity. And the second pity on the new banner, on the super sequencer, if you do a pity there, it's going to count as your second. And remember, when you reach your second pity now, it actually guarantees you a unit, right? From what I've been reading, right? This is what I believe. This is very new to me and to a lot of people, so it might be a little confusing at first or whatever, but this is from what I've been reading so far. But so far so good, right? They shaved off 20 rolls, right? They're guaranteeing you the banner unit on your second pity if you don't get them your first pity. And there's also a second banner that is called the Super Sequencer that's gonna have the new unit, plus is gonna have these other 4 units on there that you can also pull. So it's gonna have Lewis, Tricky, Sally, and Raven. Those are gonna be the other units that are gonna be in the same pool as the banner unit, and those are the units that you can pull in this banner, on the Super Sequencer banner. These Tricky, Lewis, and Sally and Raven won't be in the standard banner for this time being, for this event. They're actually going to be moved to the Super Sequencer in the meantime, so you will not be able to pull them in the standard banner. So that is what I read, right? And I understood, and I tried to explain it as best as I can, guys. Sorry if it was a little confusing at first, but I hope I explained that well. But when we do, they are going to start us off with 500 super sound matrices, and that's the currency we use to pull on the Super Census banner, right? So that's the currency that you need to use it, and they're going to start us off with 500, which should be equivalent to a multi-pull in that banner. So we'll see how that works, right? It sounds good all on paper, but we have to see how it comes, when it comes, and how it's going to work, right? So that's how I understood it. I could be wrong on some things, but this is how I read it and how I kind of like understood it for myself, right? And then we have the warm-up matches coming in, which is basically like a ranked mode where you can climb the ranks or whatever, and there's going to be divisions. Like, so let's say the lowest division is bronze, and then there's 3 tiers to bronze. Bronze 3, 2, 1, and then the next tier up to that is silver. The next division is silver, right? So it's like a ladder, a ranked ladder, and you work your way up as you play, and it's going to be against live players, right? So this is the RTA, this is the real-time arena, and it's a 4v4 format with a banning system in it, and they already kind of have it something like that, but there's no reward system or a ladder system. It's just you can play against other people and ban for other people for yourself. So you can actually test it for yourself. But what they're doing in this one is that they're attaching a reward, right? I'm pretty sure they're going to attach, they already said they're attaching the new skin, which is the Ling skin with the pink hair and the pink shades. They're going to put him in the rewards, but you actually have to reach the Apex Legend ranking, which sounds like it's really high up there for you to get it, and that's the only way to get that skin. So I mean, I find it cool that they are giving away a really nice skin. It's a legendary skin at that, but it's gonna be hard. It's gonna take a little bit of grinding, and I mean, there you have it. They have some rewards, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna add Nexus stones to give to people too, or whatever. So yeah, right, RTA is coming, guys. And now in the Spatial Tower, if players get stuck on a certain floor, the floor's difficulty will be decreased by 3% per day, up to 50%. Once they complete the floor's difficulty will return to normal. And also, this is big, the Spatial Tower and Temporal Tower don't consume stamina anymore. I've always thought that this didn't need to cost any stamina, so yeah, now it doesn't, so that's good. I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's something in the event tab where you can click on the rewind tab, and it takes you to this thing where you can put an Esper in, and if you put them in and press the button, it takes out all the things you use to level up that unit and get your resources back. But before it wasn't giving abilimons, but now, like, if you mistakenly, there's a unit you invested too much in and you don't want it and you don't really like the unit that much, now you can actually put them in there and press the rewind button, and it'll take it all out, all the resources that you used to level it up, and plus the abilimon. So that is huge, and I know a lot of people are gonna like that. And we have some huge Clara nerfs, where basically instead of her dispelling cleansing 2 of her teammates, she's gonna be cleansing only 1, which is, I thought 2 was too much, and I think this is good because I thought Clara was just way too overtuned, and this is a lot of people I feel like are going to be happy for this change. Sorry for all you Clara users. Seems like they moved that other dispel, right, that other cleanse on her ultimate, because it dispels one buff from each ally now and grants immunity to allies without debuffs for 1 turn. So it seems like that is a kind of like a buff nerf kind of a thing. So that's very interesting. So we'll just have to see how that goes, right? So Lucas, this is actually a big nerf for Lucas, because before he used to do he used to steal 15% AP, and it would be a total of 45% if he would stun at least 3 people. But now what it does is a 30, so the most he'll get is 30, right? So okay, we'll take it. I mean, it's not as much, but yeah. And then Ahmed, the biggest notable buff here I see is that he got a instead of 2% base attack per stack, he's actually getting 4% base attack per stack. So he's gonna, and it's only gonna take him to a max stack of 15. So he's actually gonna be able to get max stacks a lot faster with his 4%, instead of before he needed 25 stacks at 2% to max you out. So he's gonna be a lot more effective a lot sooner. And now the twins, they actually got buffed. So let's say when they're both on the field and one of them ults, the other one will follow up with their ultimate, right? So that is the buff that they basically got, which is huge, right? So like, let's say one uses their ultimate, the other one will follow up right after without you having to use their ultimate. They'll just follow up with their ultimate right after. So that is huge, right? So we're gonna be seeing some twins action here in arena pretty soon. Luckily, I've been working on mine, so hopefully I can bring them out too for a showcase just on time. But that's it with the patch, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think with your comments down below about the new summoning system, and just the buffs and nerfs, and about the new hero, the new Espers coming in. That's it for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. It's your boy Jadaa. I'm out. Peace.